Alright, today I'm going to be showing a few different frames, kind of showing how I shoot all these various frames, whether they be flat or have a palm swell, or if they're a larger natural or a shorter natural, and even a pickle fork. I've been asked by some members on the forum to show how I hold and shoot various types of slingshots, whether they be anything that is flatter, very much like this torque here, very flat, ergonomic, or a wonderful scout that has a great palm swell, very much like this pink one right here. Yes, I have a pink scout. Or a smaller natural like this apple fork right here, that is very small compared to my hands, or all the way up to a wonderful large natural, very much like this. I believe this is oak, if I remember correctly, natural Chalice. Doesn't matter which frame I'm holding, whether it be a natural or a slingshot that I've purchased that has been mass produced. I always hold my slingshots, if I were this from my left hand, right here where my fingers meet my palm. So basically, grab the slingshot right here and pull back. One thing I do is also, you notice my slingshot is not really resting anywhere in my palm. It's all in my fingers. Then with the thumb support and slight finger pinch. That's how I shoot my frames. So we're going to start off shooting the natural Chalice. Now I am not claiming to be a fantastic marksman or by any means a expert on how to shoot slingshots. As I stated, was simply asked to show some of my shooting form, so that I may help some others or get some feedback as well. So again, holding the slingshot, meeting it where my fingers meet my palm, wrapping it around, doing some thumb support, and bring my finger around it. Slingshot's never really touching my palm. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but when I release the pouch, there's a slight flip of the fork going forward a little bit. That's something I've started doing naturally. I also, rather than pulling back, leaving the pouch 90 degrees, I turn the pouch and pull. Something else I've started doing automatically after a little bit of practice. So there's a wonderful full-size frame. Same thing applies, as I mentioned, shooting a small frame. As you can see, this one is very small compared to my hands. But shoot this, hold it the exact same way. Simply where my fingers and palm meet, thumb support, a little bit of finger wrap, pull back to my anchor point, and release, and a slight flip forward. See if I can get that a little bit better. I have too much stuff in the garage here. So that's how I shoot with a smaller frame. Again, same thing applies with a flat frame, very much like this torque. Have to warm up the bands. This hasn't been shot for a little bit. But again, same thing. Simply take the slingshot, place it where my fingers meet my palm, wrap it around, thumb support, this one's going to be interesting. Haven't warmed the band sufficiently. They're a little tight here. So, see how this one goes. Slight flip, but again, keeping it in the exact same spot. Whether it's flat, full frame, natural fork, mass produced, HDPE, doesn't matter. Every frame I hold the same way. Moving on to one with a palm swell. Same thing applies here. slingshot's being held right there with thumb support. And I'm shooting over the top bands. And if you can see, there's also a slight twist, or a slight flip forward. I'm not sure that's the camera's capturing it, as I mentioned earlier. So there's full frame. One of the big differences, something I struggled with for a very long time, was the pickle fork. This is a great little example here. I'm shooting 3/8 steel, which will pass through the forks, but there's very little forgiveness in those forks here. So even though this frame is extremely thin, I still hold in the exact same place. Again, right where my fingers meet my palm. This one I cannot shoot in the sideways or gangsta or target style. I have to hold it with the forks facing up, or ninja style, however you want to call it. But even with this one, still holding the exact same plot, exact same spot on my hand. I just shoot. I just rather than having slingshot to the side, have it straight up. There's a lot of talk about how to shoot pickle forks. If you're wanting advice on how to shoot these, I highly recommend checking out PF Shooter's channel or Arturo's as well. They are masters when it comes to the pickle fork. PF Shooter is actually the inventor of the original pickle fork. You'll see him shooting the OPFS, or original pickle fork shooter, on his channel almost exclusively. And they always talk about the twist of the pouch as well. Something that when you're doing forward, when I'm shooting a pickle fork, if I held it frame at 90 degrees to the ground, I would have to turn the frame. Turn the pouch so I don't get a fork hit. If I'm shooting like I normally do, I hold the frame, tilt the fork forward slightly, or cant the frame a little bit. You can pull back, and I don't have to twist the pouch. But I do most of the time anyway, simply out of sheer habit. So pull back and release. And with the pickle fork, no matter how you're shooting it, whether you're keeping the frame upright or forward or sideways forward, doesn't matter. You have to flip the frame. That is essential on shooting a pickle fork. Anyway, that's how I shoot. As I mentioned earlier, I am not going to be an authority on how to shoot any kind of frame of slingshots. That's just what I found works for me. There are many different ways. There are people that use pinch grip, that if you're doing pinch grip, of course, you're going to hold the slingshot more in your palm pretty tightly and pull back. So you're shooting it more in here. That's how a lot of pinch grip shooters, and of course, you can also do hammer style, or hammer grip, which is simply holding it like a hammer, like the name implies. Again, that can be shot fork up, fork sideways, band straight back, no twist, twist to the pouch, either way. You can do many different styles. For me, I found that holding the slingshot right here, thumb grip, thumb support, slight finger pinch, works the best for me. Hope this was informative. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below or talk to me on the forums. Talk to you later.